Um, Greeting BizTech 190 students. This is our first video. I have a lot old videos that I might just leave there for you to watch, but this is videos actually kind of a little bit upbeat in ways that we're using the latest software and techniques that we're going to be using, and probably will change the handout because of that as well. To access the newest Notepad++, you can use the regular Notepad that comes with the Microsoft Windows, but it doesn't give you that color coordinated codes, which is tells you when the code is opens or when the code is ends. So this is why I highly recommend you to download Notepad++, and Notepad++ is actually listed on your handout. So what we're going to be doing now is we're going to create our very first web page. So there's a process to do this using Notepad++ or Notepad, and we have to save it in a certain area. So that what we're going to save it into what we call a root folder or website folder in your case, to kind of manage all the files and media for that particular website. So in order to do this, first I want to create that website folder, such as a regular folder, and I just start putting all my HTML file or web files and its media in that particular web root folder. So let's just start doing that. So first thing, I open the Notepad++, then I'm gonna go File, and let me zoom in so you can see things a little bit better. So I'm gonna go ahead and zoom, mouse wheel up and down. Let's see if that works. Here we go. So you can see the screen better. So I'm gonna go File, Save As. So I'm gonna go ahead and search. So this is the old website. I'm gonna create a new website. So I'm gonna call this one Washington State. Let me do that here. I'm sorry, this is a lesson 6. I'm gonna go ahead, go way back up and start all over again. I'm gonna go to my desktop and start the new one. That's probably would be the best thing. So I'm gonna create a new website, a new folder. I'm gonna call it Washington State website. Then enter to go in twice. Now I'm gonna put the first file that I will create for the website is usually the default or index file, which in another word we call it a home page, which just means is the very first page the user or the visitor will see as they come into your website. So we have to give the name index or default. Index is more powerful than default, so we have two web pages. One says index.html or HTML, and another one says default.html or HTML. Index will actually show first. So make sure you type with all lowercase, and I want to change the save as type to all files, or sometimes gives you the HTML extension. If it's not there, I will just select all type here and give it an extension .html. Now we can type HTML or HTML. Either way, it will work. So again, make sure you select all types and type everything lowercase, index.html or default.html. So this is the how you actually we create a website folder or root folder. We call it Washington State website. Then we created the first page for us in that particular website. So we save. There's nothing in that page yet, so we're not going to be able to see anything. So we can go ahead and continue for the next lesson. Now, since I saved the web page as index.html, I have to put in the codes to show the content I want to show, as a text, as an image, as a video, or as an audio. So the very first thing is there's a body structure for the HTML to indicate how things are really laid out. So they call them blocks, or they call them, it's actually just called blocks. I don't want to say anything else. So the very first thing we need to type is less than exclamation mark and duck type. Duck type section could be uppercase, lowercase. Does not really matter whether uppercase or lowercase, but it's telling me this doc type is HTML type. So I will close it. So this indicate that particular page we're looking at, or telling the browser this particular page is an HTML type of page. It's not PHP, it's not Java, it's not any, or ASPX, which is a Microsoft, is actually HTML page. So you can get away with not typing the first line, but it's really good to have it, just to indicate this particular web page we are using is actually HTML web page. So hit enter to start the second line, and I'm gonna type my first open code, type it correctly, HTML, select it, and I'm gonna close that tag with the greater than sign. So the tags actually, to start writing them, we put the less than sign, then type in the codes. Again, doesn't have either uppercase or lowercase, is still the same. I can close that one-sided tag, not one-sided, I'm sorry, that particular code with the greater than. This particular HTML is actually had an open and end tags. We call them two-sided tags. So right away, what I would do is I would go ahead and I close this by saying less than and the / to indicate that particular tag is actually closed. Now the program will give you errors if things are not properly written. So what I'm gonna now do between there, this is HTML, this tells me everything in that particular body is gonna be HTML codes. Now I'm gonna separate those into two blocks. The first block is a head block, where this is not, you don't see anything in the head block except the title. This is actually to add extensions and link to other sites, to create the styles and so on and so on. So that block we call it head, so which is just a block that you don't actually see except one portion of it. The head tag is also two-sided tag. So we open and close the head tags. So, and after the head tags, actually we have the body tag. The body tag is actually where we're gonna put everything that we want to show the visitor or the user. So we close that. Now this is the basic tags for the HTML, but the very first thing I wanted to do is actually I want to add a title of that page. So the title of the page is, that's what you see on the tab of the browser, and name. If you don't put a title, it will give you the path where the location of your file and the name of that file, like for instance C colons slash da 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 index.html, and that would not be appropriate. So here I'm gonna say, well, I'm sorry, I've been having that cough. Washington State, and this is what the people gonna actually read as the title of that page. So again, so far we are using two-sided tag, HTML to open and close, head tag to open and close, title is to open and close. Sometimes give you the red line, there's some errors. Actually, there are no errors. You should be fine. So I'm gonna close this now. I'm gonna go back and look in my browser and see what happens. I think I have it here. So if I went to my browser, I went to my Windows, and I used my File Explorer to locate where that folder I created, which is Washington State website, and the index.html. Now, your icon may be a little different than mine. My Firefox is my default browser. Maybe Edge is yours or Chrome is yours. So you see Chrome's icon in here. So please do not be alarmed with that. So to see what I've done, I'm gonna double click on it, and it's gonna open to see it. So the title is Washington State right here, and there is nothing in the body yet because we did not type anything. To see what I've done in a browser, I can right click on the browser and go to view page source. Every browser will give you that kind of option. So this is exactly what we typed. Again, in the body we have not typed anything. You cannot edit in this page here. I will show you how to edit the page after you close. So I'm gonna stop this for now, then we can start adding codes later.